try this again. This is the third time I've tried to do this army list, the Tau army list, as you will have seen from the title. First time the dogs went loopy, arguing over bones. We've got like 10 bones, but argue over the same one. The second time I said ciao for now about 8 times at the end. I thought, I'm not having that, so what do we do it? Yes, it's the Tau army list. My last video I said I don't own a Tau codex. I do now. Just arrived a couple hours ago. Quickly put the army list together. Simple in the respect that there's not that many units for the Tau army still. Been around about 20 years now, but they've only still got maybe half a dozen key units, you know what I mean? On the other hand, this is most definitely a 10th edition codex because it doesn't have the power rating system. So I've created this list, and it's basically my idea of what will be equivalent to what's in the other army lists for various force points. If it's wrong, and I can adjust it at a later date, obviously. For example, I think force point 1 might be a little bit too good, but then force point 5 and 6 are a little bit weak. So we'll get into it. Yeah, force point 1, I've gone for 82 fire warrior. No, I haven't. I've gone for 2 fire warrior strike teams, and they are both in a devilfish. So that kind of, the Eldar, for example, had 2 10-man guardian squads in Wave Serpents. So that's kind of the equivalent in that respect. I've also included a Pathfinder team, which I think should be at a force point 1 level. And I've added a Piranha. I'm thinking basically of changing that and taking that out force point 1 and putting it in a force point 3. And I'll get to force point 3 in a second, because between 1 and 3 is 2. Force point 2 is basically, sorry, my laptop's there. I'm tapping away on the down key to make it go down, obviously. So yeah, force point 2 is basically a Crute force point. I've gone for a unit of Far Stalkers, which I think are just the usual Crute warriors. A unit of Crute Carnivores, a unit of Crute Riders, and then there's, I think, 4, maybe 5 different like Crute special characters, I've called them, different shapes and stuff like that, I think. So I've gone for one of those as an addition. Now I may change that to either 2 of the special characters or a unit of Crute Hounds. Yeah, each army all different. Sounds like a Crute carnivore chomping away on his bone. Yeah, loves it. So yeah, so that's force point 2. Force point 3, I've written down 1 unit of Vespered Stingwings. I'll probably change that to 2 units because they're only 5 wee looking aliens strong. I've also gone for a Cadre Fireblade, a Breacher team. Then I've gone for either another Devilfish for a few of those to ride around in, excuse me, or 3 Piranha. If I go for the 3 Piranha, I'll take that one away from force point 1. In fact, I'll definitely I'll do that after I finish this right now. So, so yeah, so that's for ciao for now, folks. That's force point 3. Force point 4, a bit more firepower on this one. A Hammerhead gunship, a unit of stealth battle suits, and then I've gone for 2 different battle suit squads. There's a few different. I'll have a quick look. Like I say, I've got the codex here. I'll have a quick look at their designations, so to speak. Ready. So yeah, so that, now that doesn't mean broadsides and completely missed them. Yeah, so we've got Sun Force battle suits, Fire Knife battle suits, and Starside battle suits. So yeah, so two of those, I'll get one of each of those three, and then two of them in each force will be part of Force.4. Yeah. Force.5, we've gone for a Skyray gunship, an Ethereal, nice HQ choice, lots of buffs I think. And then a unit of broadside battle suits. So they're the guys with the massive guns. Well, not as massive as a storm suit, but we'll get to that. So that's Force.5. Like I said at the start, it's a little bit light, so I may add another unit of the stealth battle suits into that. I'm not too sure. Or I might add in something else, which I'll talk about in a second. Force.6 will be one of the commander variants. There's a couple of different commanders, and there's also a commander. I can't find one now, but I think there's like 2 or 3 different. Well, there's definitely at least 2. There might be 3 different types of commanders. One of those will be in Force.6. Like I say, I'll probably get one of each, and then swap and change each army. I'll have a different one. And then I've got similar Force.6, a Ghost Kill or a Riptide. They are big, but the probably is like a Land Raider equivalent, so I think each force would have one rather than them taking up a support point slot. And then I've gone for another unit of broadside battle suits. And then again, I might add in something extra, which I'm about to talk about. So the extra that I'm talking about to fit into Force.5 would be a Razor Shark fighter, I think it is, fighter bomber. And then a Force.6, a Sun Shark bomber. I've actually put those into the support point slot because I had a bit of a brainwave where I could maybe incorporate things like airfields or building an airfield using support points, and then you can, within a certain radius perhaps of that, you can get air support from like you can have a Razor Shark and a Sun Shark as a support point within that radius, so to speak. So it doesn't make sense to me that, say for example, there's like 5 Tau armies and they're all advancing across the board like so, but only this one has air support and the others don't, because that's the support point they've paid for. These have got a Storm Surge, they've got the commander, the main commander. It doesn't quite make sense. You would think all of your forces will be able to get some kind of air support. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. I may just, like I say, because in other forces I've got aircraft as part of the army lists, part of the force points. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll think about it. It's extra rules, isn't it? I don't really want extra rules. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I've got this Badab War, which I could, well, I don't have any aircraft in that apart from the Storm Talon ships I've got for them. Maybe I'll work something out, and a support point could be, I'm not too sure, to tell the truth. For Space Marines, it's pretty much everything other than the Storm Talon for Space Marines carries troops of some kind. So yeah, we'll figure something out, I suppose. So yeah, so that's a potential support point for the Tau, is a couple of aircraft. Also going for Storm Surge, you just mentioned, as a support point. That's pretty much a knight, isn't it, with a huge gun. Take out a knight, one shot a knight, couldn't it? Straight in the balls. Then I've gone for the commander, the overall army commander as a character. I've changed the name. I can't remember what I said in the, when I talked about the war zones and stuff. But I've chosen this name, Commander de Darlington. painted black and white, and yeah. I run through a load of crap. And I'll use the rules for Shadow Sun for that commander. I was going to go, well, I had a look at Farsight's rules because they're the only really two standout commanders named characters in this codex. And Farsight, I think the main buff for Farsight is you can get stratagems for 0 CP, which would be a waste of time for me because I'm not using stratagems and I'm not using CP. So yeah, I went with Shadow Sun instead. And then the other support points are, there's quite a few, well, there's three or four different, I've written down tide wall fortifications, but they've got names such as, find the blue things on. New codex, all pages stuck there. A tide wall shield line, a bit like an Aegis defense line, I presume. And then there was a tide wall drone port. I'll have to look into what all that's about. And then a tide wall gun rig, which basically looks like a gun platform of some kind. And yeah, they'll all be, like I say, fortifications that the Tau can build. Be stay in that location until, you know, I mean, the shield line, I presume anyone could use that as a defensive fortification. So, but the drone port and the gun rig look like Tau specific. So, they'll probably make rules where they get destroyed if the location is captured by someone else other than Tau. Okay. And yeah, that's the Tau army list. How long did that take? 12 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to make. I've got, like I say, I've just got the Tau Codex. I've got a couple of other little bits and pieces coming. I've got ideas for more different rules that I'll use. And I'll do a little bit of an update on what I've got painted and what I've started painting, and kind of a new project as well, a historical project. But I'll make an update video in a couple of days. I'll get a couple of units. Well, I'll get a few more paints put on a few of the units, and see where I am on, let's say, Monday, Tuesday. It's Saturday today. It's Good Friday yesterday. Hope you're having a good Easter weekend, everyone. Ciao for now, number, I think that's 2 for the video. Normally I say about 8 times. So if you're enjoying this, I don't know why, but if you enjoy these videos, these army lists, and you know, it gives you food for thought, and you want to see how the campaigns run and how it goes and everything, it might be something you want to do, your gaming club, you've got a regular opponent or something like that. Please just subscribe so you get the videos every now and again, usually every Thursday, and then I'll do another one sometimes if something special happens, like I got the Tau Codex a couple hours ago now. So yeah, please subscribe if you want to, and if you want to give it a like, give it a comment as well. Yeah, what would you put in the Tau army list? Do you think that Piranha would make Force Point 1 too powerful? Yeah, let me know the crack. So ciao for now for the 3rd time and the final time. Thanks a lot. See you later.